good governance is one mantra that everybody keeps talking about. Some people actually say what they mean and they mean what they say. But a journalist is actually seen as an activist most times. But sometimes they are described in ways too innumerable. I have somebody with me in the studio today with whom I'll be discussing about good governance that concerns Abia State and Nigeria at large. Call him a senior colleague and a brother, but no brother in the jungle. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, my sister.
Can we get to know you?
Of course, my name is the Norman Obinna.
Okay.
I am the ADC chairman at the State, African Democratic Congress chairman at the State.
Okay.
Though I'm a journalist by profession,
Yeah, exactly.
I also got to the pinnacle of my career.
Okay.
I think I want to...
As an editor, a publisher?
Yes, as an editor.
Okay.
Yes, as an editor. I was an associate editor of the Telegraph newspapers.
Oh, fantastic.
Before I became chief media advisor in 2016.
Okay.
And in 2018, I established the REM newspaper, Nigeria Limited.
Okay,
yes.
okay.
So we've been publishing, and before I became the DC chairman in 2021.
So let's go to business. You're talking about being the state chairman, other state chairman of African Democratic Congress, a political party. How has it been so far?
Let me start by saying that our vision was truncated, even before we started, because of the national chairman who has a different ideology on what political party and their objectives in elections should be. Let me say that ADC did not make me popular in Abia State.
Okay, you've been popular before ADC.
Yes, I made ADC popular in Abia State. Like, you can never talk about ADC.
That's what's up. Okay, now let me go back. How did you transition from being a journalist to a party chairman? Have you ever always wanted to be a politician, a political party leader while practicing as a journalist?
Well, I'm going to be very, very honest here. There was over a time I planned to be a party chairman. What happened was that I had a conversation with Chief Rafonso, the then ADC national chairman. He wanted me to be the chairman of the ADC. He wanted me to build the party, use my personality to build the party. And I told him I want to contest election. Actually, the reason I came to Abia State was a contest election. My idea was to go for House of Rep in 2023. When I came in and I took up a dead party in Abia State. ADC, nobody knew ADC in Abia State.
Party.
ADC was not existing at the States. ADC was never a party to reckon with until I came. Of course, my idea then was not even going for the governorship election. Because I know that we have to start somewhere.
I heard you talking about your party never had intention of actually floating a guber candidate. Is that what you meant?
No, I said we had intention, but I said our then objective was not to win. Because at least you have to, start building somewhere else. We want to build our structure from the grassroots. Our main target at that time was to see if we can get 5 or 6 House of Assembly seats, probably 1 House of Rep or 2 House of Rep or a senator. Then from that point we now build a party in readiness for 2027.
Now, don't you consider it inimical to the ideology of political parties for you to say the intention was not actually to win?
It was your intention. We never communicated.
Okay, could this unannounced intentions be the reason why you played anti-party roles during the last?
No, I didn't play anti-party.
Then what is even an anti-party? Let me ask you.
Okay, anti-party. I would describe it simple as when pursuing an agenda or a goal that is anti your political party's objective.
Maybe a political party had a gubernatorial candidate in the state, but you were openly, consciously, and conscientiously campaigning for the candidate of the, I think, People's Democratic Party.
Okay, I think this is the first time I'm going to discuss that matter.
Okay.
I think that was even what led to the problem we had in the ADC.
Okay.
Now, when we started, like I told you, the party became large. Immediately, people started trooping into the because of my person. People started trooping into the party. Then we had 2 guber candidates, Otusi Okiwe, Otusi Biti Okiwe. That's the son of former number 2, Nigerian number 2. Yeah. Now Bishop Honor also came.
Okay.
Now we conducted a primary. It was a charade.
You're trying to say that those actions of that day formed your open.
Not even that was where the problem of the ADC started, because people actually became disenchanted.
I'm going to leave the issue of ADC and I'm going to move straight to the issue of good governance, which you have always posited to be. But let me ask you lastly on that issue. Your position as a party chairman, okay? Did you liaise with the members of your party lead or other members of the leadership before throwing your weight behind
I think you have to give me like probably 2 minutes to explain this thing. It's a topic you want to know about. So what happened was that when Bishop Sondonoha emerged through the back door, that thing, breed rancor. Yes, people were not happy. So we asked him to go and have a reconciliation, reconciliatory meeting with most of these grassroots and see how we can bring everybody together to pursue a common cause, which is his campaign. But along the line, we noticed, not only me, the party executive noticed that Bishop Sondonoha was a mole. He never came to contest election. He was sent by a certain person, I don't want to mention his name now, a party to destroy the ADC. It was obvious. He never printed poster. He never campaigned. He never did anything. All he did was to see a way he can remove me. On that process, the party executive, had a meeting, rose from their list and suspended Bishop Sondonoha. So he was suspended. As at that time, we had no political go back.
But did you carry other members of the party along?
Yes, everybody, interest divided.
At that
point. I now I made an announcement in our last week. I say, choose yourself who you want to support. And so what I simply did was, people have always said I supported the PDP. I supported Okahiwe, who happens to be my friend for 20 years.
Okay, supported friendship.
I supported Okahiwe, not friendship, but he has the capacity. I had to be loyal to our friendship because I know that he has what it takes to be the governor of Abia State. I know he has the capacity, so I threw my way behind him to show my loyalty to a friendship that has lasted 2 decades, and also show my support for a good governor, a good candidate to emerge as a governor of Abia State, because I know that he would have been the best Abia would have produced.
And then, of course, I also like to hear from other parties, most especially somebody like the Bishop Onoha too, because that topic seemed very, very interesting. But let's move on. You are definitely one of the most vocal good governance advocates Abia State has produced. Nobody takes that away from you. I also read books, written by you.
The one that sent me to prison.
Every good and fearless journalist is always a candidate of prison. So it's like I read the book, enslaved, raped, and stuff. So we've also looked at you from that perspective. Now, being with a veteran good governance advocate, can you quickly give us an overview of what good governance stands for?
You see, like I've always said, in our climb here, people, more often than not, misconstrue good governance to self-advocacy.
Okay, self-advocacy.
Yeah, self-advocacy.
So good governance
they
is
think
not
that no, it's not. They think that it's a platform through which you want to make yourself popular.
Okay.
But there is this desire, inner desire that.
But that's what many of you critically acclaimed good governance advocates do.
Anyway, it has never been my thing, because I've been in this business of good advocates since 2013.
Okay.
So it's about 11 years I've been doing this, and let me even tell you something. That thing has, a kind of caused misunderstanding between me and my children. Because I felt that I have wasted so much money, doing something that has never benefited us in any way. And sometimes even the people that you have, paid the dues for, people you take away comfort from yourself to speak for. We sometimes ask you who sent you. Sometimes they call you cash activist or something like that, because they think that what you are doing that time, does not align with their own political interest. So it's not whether what you are doing is right, who you are supporting is right, or something like that. So let me quickly tell you what it is.
Okay.
In Abia State, where almost every youth is rendered out Ikumba. You know that when they depend in one particular Onishi government or one local government chairman to survive, actually passing the message of good governance becomes somehow difficult. And that is just a problem. Abia State. We don't need a suicide to tell us that things are not just going the way they should go in other states.
Right now?
Yeah, of course now. Nothing has changed in other states.
Oh, really? Tell me about
sometimes when I hear people talk about the new Abia, it makes me laugh. I think we'll get to that,
Okay.
The problem is that Abia State youth are not doing well.
Okay. Abia State youth are not doing well.
That is just the truth. They are not doing well. And most of them who went to school believe that the only way they can seek, get attention of government or seek, a kind of attention of government is by singing praises. And I keep saying that if you don't in governance, you will ask for your rights.
Okay.
Right-based approach to development.
Okay.
And duty, based
Duty
approach.
based.
Yeah. Now, what is the right-based approach? That approach is that the people are the right bearers.
Yes.
The government owes us an obligation to do what we want to do.
Yeah.
Now, for example, for instance, we are here. Let's assume that you are an Abia youth.
Yes.
And your immediate need, there's a difference between need and want. Your immediate need is studio.
Yes, correct.
And somebody wants to give you borehole. The person has actually not done anything.
Not at all. It doesn't ameliorate my need.
Yes, because it didn't add any value to your life. So that's where the right-based approach to governance comes in here.
Okay.
When people need a certain thing, a community that needs borehole has no business with palm seedlings.
Now, looking at what the present government, I don't want to talk about this present government, but then
we just have to.
Yeah, but having been someone who supported the PDP candidate heartily and ferociously, do you think with what this new government led by His Excellency Dr. Alex Otti has done so far, that Chief Okahiwe would have beat his performance by now?
You cannot actually say what is in the past until it's open. Like from who I am, I will say who I am. From what we have seen so far, if what we have seen so far is what Dr. Alex Otti has to offer, we overrated him. It's as simple. Yes, I can say supporting Okahiwe wouldn't have stopped me from criticizing his government. I did that in 2015. But let me tell you, in 2015, I was one of the editors of Military Telegraph.
Do you think he would have outdone Okeze by this time?
Okahiwe,
having known him for 2 decades.
Yes, Okahiwe has a blueprint. And besides that, I'm not a spokesperson. There are some things I would have loved to say here.
Yeah.
I don't know how he will feel about it.
Okay.
But if you notice, he's a very quiet person. Ever since that election, he lost election, he has been silent. He has not said anything.
Okay.
So since I didn't seek his indulgence to be here,
but
it will not be nice for me to speak on his behalf.
As an Abian, you understand, who has experienced this new government and who has also interacted with the would have been governor now.
Okay, would have done better because first and foremost, okay, listens to people. There is no way no man is an island.
Okay.
One thing that goes for Okahiwe, if you know him too well, is he has this organizational structure.
Okay.
He's too organized.
Okay.
Then secondly, he listens to people.
Okay.
And thirdly, he's a very humble person.
Okay.
You just like speak to their boss. People feel free to contribute. People feel to say, sir, you've done the wrong thing. Like during the campaign, something happened during the campaign. I told him.
But those in the circle of the current governor might also say same.
You don't cover pregnancy. Alex Otti and Okahiwe are two different entities.
Have you really been close to the current
yes, now
governor?
I don't forget that I worked with Dr. Alex Otti in 2019. If it was in his house, I was arrested.
You worked?
Yes, now I come. Yes, now in 2019.
But you were never friends.
No, I don't.
But you were friends with okay. Well, my lecturer told me that our friends are usually more qualified than those.
No, that's all I'm saying. The issue is this: Alex Otti is not even my enemy. Okay. I don't know. We have our interpretation of friendship. For example, I am free with Okahiwe for Dr. Alex Otti. I came to work with him on political issues.
Okay, political issues.
So definitely, for what I learned, it was about governance.
Yeah,
I don't want to come here and talk about Alex Otti. What I'm saying is that from what he has done so far. From what you have seen so far, you can even see from the commissioners and the essays, there's no air of freedom. People are scared to talk. That is why even if
did you know?
Can you invite them on a program now without them seeking permission from somebody to come here? And besides, how many times have you interviewed our state commissioner for information? How many times has he been on the radio? How many times has he appeared on radio programs to tell Abians what the governor is doing? In fact, I can tell you that if you ask 1 out of 10 of every Abian citizen who is here commissioner for information, I'm sure they will be able to mention the name. We have accused Alex Otti's government of being visionless and not coming to the arena of governance with a blueprint of what we are doing, what they are doing, and where the state should be in a certain time or period. Now, I think the detail of the commissioner for information.
Why would you say that? You worked with him. During that period, you worked with him. Were you working with him with no blueprint? Or do you think he threw the blueprint away when he
It's easy for you to. Governance is easier said than done. It's easy to sit down and criticize the government and say this is what I'm going to do. In fact, Alex Otti even told us that he manufactured his what do you call it again? Manifesto himself. That he wrote it himself. Okay. So if you look at Alex Otti, if you just oppose Alex Otti's manifesto from what he is doing right now, will you sincerely say that he is actually following the manifesto? The answer is no. We have thrown the manifesto aside because the reality on ground has hit him. He has seen that for him to succeed in some certain things, for him to, perpetuate his political will, there's some certain, individuals that must go down for him to do that.
This is an allegation.
When I say go down, I'm not simply mean killing somebody. I'm only saying that some certain offices must compromise their powers and democratic powers to let it flourish.
Like what offices are you talking about? Are you referring to?
Let us even look at the House of Assembly, for example.
That's legislation. It's not an independent. That's an independent.
That's why I want to use that as. That's why I want to use it as a very good example.
Okay.
That's a legislative and the arm of the democratically elected government that have their independent role to play in a democracy. But the question here is this: do we have a functional and active House of Assembly in Abia State? The answer is no.
They just passed a wonderful law recently.
What is wonderful law? What is a wonderful law?
They have been making laws, and that's the basic essence of.
I don't think you should be making excuse for them because I'm also a
journalist.
I'm coming. No, you are. You're actually speaking for. You're speaking for them. You know why? I'm a journalist. As I being a party chairman, yes. I am a trained journalist.
I know you. And
I know when a House of Assembly is effective and
okay, now let's assume that the House of Assembly is not maximizing its potentials, right?
Yeah.
Or its powers. How do you blame that on the government?
What are you saying? You can see, I don't know, I am not this type that I don't know how to generalize this creator.
Okay.
You can see the influence of the governor when the action or when the action of the governor begin to affect the House of Assembly predisposition, it becomes a problem. You're influencing them. Okay, can anybody tell us why Aaron Ozadike, for example, has not been sworn in after he was given certificate of return and won his case? At the appeal court. Now you heard that the Speaker of the House of Assembly said that he got directives from above not to do that.
But that's an allegation.
He said it is not an allegation. He said it.
Do you have evidence of him saying? I said it's not about Google. I said journalist. You must speak based on facts.
How do you get your information? The online platform is also now we are discussing. I'm coming. Now that we are discussing here, I'm sure people are not going to watch it. They are going to watch us through the online in their houses. They are not here watching.
That's correct.
So whatever I say here has a way of affecting even the government.
Yes, sir.
So it's not about to be that the normal coming out in public, carrying this what you call it a megaphone.
But as a trade journalist, a veteran. Yes. Have you ever reached out to the speaker yourself to inquire this thing?
I'm not practicing right now. I have for now because of politics. I kept that aside. Even if I decide to reach out to him and say, why has this thing happened? He will always politicize it. He will always, because I'm a party chairman. I'm an opposition party chairman, so he believes that I am speaking for the political angle. So there's no way you are that politician.
That's
why we have constitution. No, it's not about it. We have constitution.
And then I also like to hear from that Aaron campaign.
The question should be, does the Speaker of the House of Assembly, Emerowa, need to wait for an instruction from above to perform his constitutional duty? The answer is no. So the truth of the matter is that we have the House of Assembly that has been rendered, that has been emasculated now. They are just existing on paper. And Abia State will have that. If I have to advise their constituents, I will tell them that none of them in the House of Assembly should go back in 2027. Because we cannot have dead roots as House of Assembly members as
representatives. Don't call my representative dead roots.
They are. I didn't agree.